Good afternoon and welcome to RCC Talk. I'm Kim Pryor, Public Information Officer here at the college. Sally Newman is my co-host. She's our Director of Customized Training, working with our business and industry. And I'm a little goofy because I'm so excited to have all these students here today and excited for Maggie Murray to be here. She's our Director of Student Life, and her whole purpose here is to help students just like these young people feel like that they belong on campus, to have some fun while they study and work hard, and develop some leadership skills. So thank you all for being here. Maggie, you've got several students here.
Mm-hmm.
How about introducing them for me?
They are the awesomest students ever, I might add. First we have Kaelyn Thompson. Can you tell us what program you're in?
Respiratory therapy.
Ooh, well, we're breathing well.
I know.
And then we have our birthday girl, Jayla Oldfield. Today's her birthday. What program are you in?
I'm in computer science.
Computer science. Nice. And we have Alana Dunlap.
I'm enrolled in the Associate in Science.
Oh, very cool. And we also have our Eagle mascot, who is also, go Eagles, who is Pedro Lopez. So, Pedro, we're glad to see
Go
your
Pedro.
face. Yeah. Go Pedro, go Eagles.
Hello, I am Pedro Lopez. I'm currently enrolled for Associates in Science degree.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, all of you are studying and working hard. I know that. Even though it's summertime, that means your classes are probably twice as hard because they compress a lot of information into a shorter period of time. But tell us, and start with anybody, tell me about some of the activities that you've really enjoyed on campus, some of your leadership roles.
Okay, well, I'll start. I'm in SGA, and I have been for the past year. Luckily, Maggie still let me be in SGA, considering my demanding program. But we do more of the behind the scenes. We figure out what kind of events we want to have, when we'd have them, if they have to be changed due to weather, which has happened a lot. We've done things like this year, which is new. We've designed these shirts, and we've actually come up with every single word on the back of the shirts to kind of represent like what we achieve or try to achieve here at RCC. Our main goal in general for SGA is to get student involvement, which is extremely important for us, and to have people on campus just join with us. And what else do we do? Other than that, I think one of the more outreaching things to our communities that we've probably done is go to like the polls, and we passed out information talking about the quarter-cent sales tax that would help RCC and help students like us in the future.
Well, you did a voter registration drive too in conjunction with that, right? So, and SGA is our Student Government Association. So,
Yeah, and in SGA, we're currently recruiting for the fall. So, so far we have about 4 openings. So we had some of our SGA members, they graduated or transferred, so we're going to miss them. But we need some other students that are involved, like Kaelyn, and Pedro is one of those coming up for the fall. That's and SGA is, they're the backbone of what student life is on campus. Like she mentioned that she does a lot of the behind the scenes. What was your office in SGA?
Treasurer.
Yeah. So we have president, vice president, treasurer, secretary,
And public information officer.
yeah. So lots of cool ways for students to get involved in SGA for sure.
well, I know for one thing is since you have started this job 7 months ago, our student activities have quadrupled in number. It's been a very, very busy campus. Just from my desk, I get an email just about every week or every other day from Maggie, and she's describing anything that might be of interest to anybody on campus. Jayla, tell me a little bit about what you've been involved with.
So the past couple semesters, I've been the vice president of Science Club. I've also been nominated to and got into the position of graduation marshal for both this past spring graduation, also this summer graduation. And I've also very thankfully been hired as Maggie's student life work study, which I've been very grateful for because she's just been a great boss. And it's really taught me a lot of important life skills in that position. This was probably the first real job that I've had. In the past, I've done like some volunteer, like bargaining. I bargained for martial art lessons, so I taught some of the classes. But this is the first real job I actually had that was very similar to something that you would get after you graduated college. So it really helped me meet people and see a lot of how the college works. Like from the front, you see, oh, this college is running. But once you get behind the scenes of all the activities, like with SGA, I helped SGA with some of their stuff too, and it was like, wow, there's a lot of work going on involved to keep this college running. So it really opened my eyes on how much everybody works really hard. So it gave me like good building of work ethic and a lot of connections. You meet a lot of people who can eventually help you get to where you're going. I know the other day, Maggie and I were in our office, and one of her friends from across the street in the government building said that he actually was working in software development, which is specifically what I want to go into. And we're like, hey, maybe you could hit me up and see internships. So it's a lot of connections and a lot of work ethic and a lot of good stuff that'll help.
Well, we're glad to have you here on our campus.
I'm very glad to be here helping, working.
Well, Alana, tell us what you've been involved in.
I was a part of science club for the fall and spring semesters and loved that. We had volunteering at the blood drive. We had that going on. Volunteering at the animal shelter.
Bye, Eagle.
What's the name of that?
That's okay. Keep going, Elena.
We had several fundraisers going on, and my new position is Maggie's work study, and
Yeah.
I've been her work study for about 2 months, and they've really welcomed me with open arms, and I'm loving it so far.
Now if I'm correct, were you not involved with something to do with therapy dogs on campus?
I wasn't really involved in it, but it was something I really loved, to be a part of.
Okay.
Because the big thing was that they were doing a stress awareness week thing, and of course, dogs and students, they goes one in, hand in hand with each other. So yeah, that was really awesome.
It was a neat way to get students together and have some fun and relax during exams.
Yeah, and the
Right.
library has been great to partner with Student Life in coming up with different ideas and housing some things, some activities while our student center is being renovated. So that week was really neat
That was awesome.
to raise awareness of everybody's stressed out. So several people had the idea of bringing puzzles into the library and coloring books, and y'all participated in those things, so your stress went way down, right?
Nice.
We need some coloring books up in here.
Pedro,
Yes.
tell us what you've been involved with.
I've been involved in Panaphora Club, Art Club, and Trio.
Okay.
And now I'm a new recruit in SGA.
Okay, great.
Yes.
What's some of the things the art club has done this year?
They did the art show. They traveled to New York.
New York.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Did you go on that trip?
No, because I had another trip planned
Okay.
before that. So I wish I could go, but probably next year.
Next year.
Probably next time, basically. And basically, in Panaphora Club, I have done a whole bunch of things, like getting some leadership skills, getting connections for what I'm going for my career and all that. It's basically a good program to be in. And on Trio, they do tutoring and touring campus. So when I have the chance to, I go tour campus. I mean, I miss some days from classes, but that's on me. If I know I can make it up, I go on.
Speaking of classes, I think I rearranged our plan and didn't hear from you. What are you studying?
Oh, I'm studying for computer science, just like
Okay.
Jayla.
Okay, all right, all right.
I have a question, if
Certainly.
you don't mind.
Sally, jump in.
Thank you. I have two. So I think what you and Jayla are speaking about, those networking opportunities, and you're seeing at your young age those advantages of connecting with people that can assist you in your career development. So keep that in mind. Networking is good. Get business cards when you can, and things of that nature. And then the student center. Okay, so it's new,
Yeah.
been renovated. is ready for students for the fall, correct? So what's going to be some of the advantages, and what can the students coming back for the fall, what can they expect with this new center, student center?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked about that because it is going to be like the hub of a lot of our student activities. Right now, it's not completely finished. The main floor just got finished just this summer.
Okay.
So last year we were all downstairs in our offices while the upstairs was being renovated. So it is ready to go. It is beautiful. It smells really nice and new. Our work studies came up with an initiative for sustainability because in our renovated upstairs, tell them what we got up there.
We have an automatic, like a automatic sensed water refill. So I've seen them only mainly like on the big college campuses, but you can set your water bottle underneath it, and you don't have to finagle it awkwardly to try to get the little archy ones that you can set it and refill it directly like this, and it's so much easier. But it'll also keep count of how many water bottles you've saved by refilling your own water bottle.
Right.
Okay.
So today we had our 200th bottle saved.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so whenever there's a 100th bottle that's saved, that person takes a selfie with the little number in the background, and they'll get a Go Green, Go Eagles t-shirt, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
But, so that's what's cool in our student center, but the renovations are continuing downstairs.
Okay.
So our cafeteria is being renovated, all the student lounges and the game rooms, that sort of thing. Those are all going to be like brand new. So this fall we'll be having a lot of our activities downstairs in those new rooms. It's a really exciting time to be a student here.
Yeah.
Well, Maggie, tell us about some of the highlights of spring semester this year, some events that you thought were extra special for students.
I might get y'all to chime in on your favorite ones. But one of my favorite ones was the very first week I was on the job in December. We had a hot chocolate social, so people could meet me and get to know me, and to have input on what activities they wanted to have on campus. So we were outside. We had the music, lovely music jamming, and we had some hot chocolate. And it was the coldest day probably of December. I was out there for all day, so I was cold to the bone. Jayla was out there for a long time. I know you were out there. Pedro was out. Everybody was in blankets. Anyways, but that's probably my favorite thing that we've done, just for students to have input on what activities they wanted on campus. So we had like 4 pages of students writing down what they wanted to see on campus. So we kind of used that as a kind of a little push for what we wanted to do in the spring. So I want to hear from you guys. Tell me what your favorite activity or the activity that you thought was neat, something, tell us and kind of share with us what went on with that. Anybody?
Well, personally, I just loved spring fling, and I know that's probably kind of cliche to say because that was like the biggest thing we did this spring, but honestly I loved it to death. It was so much fun. Did we have like a student count on how many students we had?
Yeah, we had about 900 students, faculty, and staff, coming in and out throughout the day.
I knew it was a large number, but I mean, and this is going to kind of loop back, but one thing that I really like about Maggie is I told her one day that I called her like an unorthodox thinker. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, you think out of the box on a lot of things. Like, you don't really see giant inflatable bouncy houses on college campuses, but it was a huge success, and it did really well, and we had these giant games, like tic-tac-toe and stuff like that out there, and it did really, really well. And of course, you have the free Chick-fil-A, and everybody loves Chick-fil-A, so that did really well. But I just love the fact that we're always trying to think of new and exciting different ways to get everybody involved on campus. So that was personally my favorite.
I think that's probably the largest crowd we've ever had participate in a spring fling or fall welcome back, and it was the most colorful. It was a beautiful event.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of the the staff and faculty, but definitely the staff playing some of the games, that inflatable obstacle course.
Yeah.
So it really was. It was community and brought everybody together.
Yeah, and a lot of clubs were involved that day. And Jayla, you're sweet for mentioning my name, but there are lots of people that had, you have excellent ideas all the time. Like it's certainly very sweet, but there's lots of people that have so many ideas that keep bringing them to us, bringing them to our work studies that then tell me, and then we make it happen, which is awesome.
Well, it's good they feel that freedom
Yeah.
that you all have opened up to give them that freedom to come and give you suggestions.
Yeah, which is just great. It's awesome.
I think one of my favorite things being an SGA is going to the N4C SGA conferences. We're able to go to workshops all day and learn how to be leaders, which is very, very nice. We have like super fancy formal dinner, and it's a really fun experience. You get to meet everyone from the other 54, I think it's 54 community colleges in North Carolina. 58.
That-
You know what?
You're in the 50. That was good. You just pulled off. That was good.
But after dinner, between like I guess 9 to 12, 8 to 12, we get to go downstairs and see all the vendors. So they sell us, like they kind of just pitch to us like what they could do for our campus. So we get to play on the inflatables, we get all the free like little cool stuff, and then we get to come back and tell Maggie, or if Maggie would be there, we'd say, hey, like we want them, like go talk to them, we need them. But that's really exciting because that's whenever we get to be more involved and kind of like see what students would really want to have here on campus.
And there's a conference, what's the name of it again?
N4C SGA. So the officers of SGA get to go, and usually we can bring guests if anybody really wants to go. See how it's done.
That's good information.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because being a part of SGA, you do get to travel and you get to learn from other colleges what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then you can bring them back here and see if they'll be successful here. So that's pretty
It's
awesome.
a great opportunity, and I'm very thankful for it.
Okay.
Awesome.
So do the other clubs on campus, now, do that fall under SGA umbrella, like Science Club and, just the other different organizations that falls under SGA umbrella?
Yes, ma'am. So SGA is kind of like the hub.
Okay.
So SGA has a meeting monthly for all the clubs to come, and we talk about what do they want to see on campus, what does the science club want to do this month, that sort of thing. We have over 10 clubs on campus.
Okay.
I was approached about starting an angling club this spring. So there's lots of paperwork that go into starting a new club, but as long as somebody has a hobby that they're passionate in and has maybe 4 other people and can get an advisor to sign on with them, you can start a club, which is awesome. So our newest club is the angling club. So if you like to fish, you could join, certainly.
You mentioned, Maggie, that the library was a big help in developing student life. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, so our library staff is very, they want people to come to the library.
Yeah.
And the library is awesome. It just got renovated. It has, awesome furniture, and it's a great place to study and have resources. And in college, it was my favorite place to socialize. But besides that, the library staff just wants people to utilize that building. They had another great idea with rocks on campus. So, we partnered with them. You can go decorate a rock and then go hide it somewhere. Take a selfie with it, and then you hide it somewhere else. So those kinds of things with the library, we're just trying to connect everybody in our school. I've worked with other clubs to work with other clubs together. So, to have a cohesive institution with student life, everybody's so supportive of what we're trying to do, which is awesome. So we are a campus community, and we are that Eagle family. So the library staff has been awesome to work with to foster that.
I think you've done a lot of leadership training and you've had a lot of fun, but something that you did later in the spring that caught my eye, and wonder if you do a lot of educational opportunities like the opioid addiction lecture. is really you're providing that as student leadership to help the campus stay informed. And you did many of those last year, those
Yes,
types
ma'am.
of events.
Yeah, so student life, we're supposed to have fun,
Mhm.
right? And we go to class to learn some things, but it's also student life's responsibility to help the instructors maybe have an extra credit activity that they can go to. So the opioid epidemic is unfortunately a big thing that's kind of prevalent in rural areas. So we had a couple of those sessions where we had people in the community, a panel, come and talk about the education behind the opioid crisis. Other activities, educational activities, we had domestic violence workshop. SGA sponsored that. We also had some. What's that other one we had? There's so many good education
We had
things.
the one from Natalie when she
Yeah.
did like the building blocks for student life.
Yeah, so SGA has an opportunity to do workshops to help build those leadership skills.
And I see here you did, so I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
I see you did breast cancer
Yeah,
Did you-
this is
breast
upcoming for
cancer
this
for
fall.
the fall,
Yeah.
because that's what, September,
October.
October. Okay, and so let me ask you all this, do you all do any community outreach activities in Rockingham County as well? I mean, can you go off campus and do any voluntary work
Yes.
with like the food pantry or?
Yeah, certainly. And y'all speak up, because I know you did a lot of this in the fall before I got on board. But I know that there was some canned food drives done, and our Saga Club did a Coke drive. So our clubs on campus will be getting more involved in community service kind of outreach. Help Incorporated across the street is interested in coming over and doing stuff with our students. But the community service aspect of SGA, of different clubs, of student life in general is so important because, like I mentioned, we're here to have fun, but we can also serve people as well. So that's an excellent skill for any student in student life to have that service kind of feel, to volunteer to help people, because there's lots of people helping all of us all the time.
That's true.
Well, I know that Science Club the past 2 semesters or so, we've done 2-3 blood drives.
2, I think.
2 that we for sure helped host, and then I know a 3rd blood drive was hosted, I think, by the Early College History Club. But so we've definitely done 3 blood drives with the American Red Cross, and then Science Club, we've gone over to the animal shelter and helped volunteer over there. We've done a lot of fundraisers. I know we did a fundraiser for Breast Cancer Month, Halloween costume party fundraiser. I'm trying to think, any other fundraisers that we did along that line? I can't think of any off the top of my head because we had so many ideas flowing through. I can't remember which ones were implemented and which ones were just were just thrown out. But yeah, so we had a lot of fun. And even if we weren't doing fundraisers like to help others, we still had a lot of fun fundraisers around campus to help raise money for us to go to DC. So
And educational.
yeah, they were very educational. It rained the entire week,
So
but
now, wait a minute, you were in DC.
we were.
Okay, so
Wow.
you went with which?
We went to Science Club.
Okay, well tell us about that trip.
So, despite the weather, we forged ahead and we marched all over DC. I know we went to Arlington. We went to certain Smithsonian's. I think it was the Natural History Museum, Air and Space. I'm trying to think.
I think Miss Combs, Miss Smith, and I went to the Native American Museum.
And then we also went to the Botanical Gardens. We ate at this really great French patisserie.
Oh, yeah.
It was really expensive, but man, it tasted so good. We went to Chinatown and we ate. And then Chinatown itself is just chock full of, really great cultural experiences. They have all the great archways all over the streets and everything. Street performers.
Okay.
So yeah, that was a ton of fun. Oh, the zoo. I forgot the zoo. That was like a huge thing.
How can you forget the zoo?
I don't know. I bought a shirt and I just forgot.
raise a good point there that you have, being involved in student life and clubs, you can have cultural events, you know, learn about different things or go on little trips. Pedro, you talked about the art club going to New York.
Yeah.
Y'all also go on little local field trips too, right?
We do go on local field trips. I haven't been involved in our club that much because I barely started joining it too. But I know they go on local trips. They do the art shows. I've been to a few. They're amazing, to be honest. There were some paintings and pottery that I did want to get, but you know, I couldn't. Some were not for sale, or some were like just, you know, out of my price range, or at least. And I'm a college student. I can't afford it.
That's all right. That's why you're coming to college to get a degree, to get you a big old job. Yeah, which is awesome.
And I know that History Club, I kind of dabbled a little bit early fall semester and helped, you know, went to some of their meetings and heard some of their plans. So I was actually involved, but I heard that I know they're definitely helping with the Charlie Pool Festival later. They're apparently, if they volunteer, they get in for free. So History Club is helping with that. And I know that Sattler also takes them to like the local, like I know we have some old buildings on our property, and he took them over there and kind of, he had one of the people, I think, from the government who knew actually about the building, kind of gives them a little field trip and talk about that building and its importance to this land, and he takes them on all sorts of little field trips like that. So I know the History Club's definitely getting involved with at least the local culture in that aspect. So.
Well, Maggie, I know that you are starting intramurals on campus for golf and tennis, and but we actually have 2 athletic programs, and in particular our baseball team had some great success this season. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we have had the awesomest, craziest spring ever. Our baseball team they made it to the World Series of the National Junior College Athletic Association.
Big deal.
Huge deal. Big deal. We were one of 8 teams in the nation that got to that tournament. So we had a lot of first record breakers for our athletic program in the baseball program. We won our Region 10 for the second time. And we went on to play Prince George's Community College, and they were out of Largo, Maryland. And we actually hosted that tournament, which was a huge deal. And I'll give a shout out to Reidsville High School because they let us host at their field because the rainy weather, it was crazy. So they were able to help us there. But we won our district, and then that's what qualified us to go to the World Series. And it was in Greenville, Tennessee. Our team was there for 5 days, pardon me. And we finished 4th in the nation. So we were in the top 4, and it was an amazing experience for our baseball team and our coaches and our fans that were able to go. And of course I went, and it was just an amazing experience to get our college's name out nationally. Because we are an awesome institution, beautiful campus, super supportive faculty and staff. Everybody should come here. So whenever we met people in Greenville, Tennessee at the World Series, we told them that. Like, Rockingham Community College is the bomb, and just come on. So they had a really successful season, and we're looking forward to this fall in our volleyball program. We hired an interim head coach, Tara Lucas. So we're excited for our volleyball program this fall to get going.
And you have practice will start in August, correct?
Yes,
so it's
ma'am.
not too soon to be contacting you if you're interested in volleyball.
Yeah, we still have some available spots, and we're currently looking for an assistant coach. So we're building our programs, and we're excited for the way that our athletic program is going, because we have school spirit. Yes, we do. So it thrives at campus. Our student life thrives, and our athletic thrives, and our programs and degrees, they thrive, and so everybody's happy, which is good.
Well, and you mentioned the renovation of the Student Center, and that's been a giant accomplishment. And thanks again to the citizens of our county who supported the quarter-cent sales tax.
Yeah, we can do that right there.
Renovating facilities and making our campus facilities state-of-the-art is a direct result, will be a direct result of that quarter-cent sales tax. And citizens who are interested in what we're doing with that can find that information on our web. It's summertime at RCC.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to begin fall semester, so register now, apply, come to campus. Our counselors and faculty and staff will help you get started. Maggie, Sally, students, thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
We'll see you next time on RCC Talk.